Rich.
Corey.
We're back.
Yep.
After a nice little hiatus. Or not a hiatus. It's not like we've been doing nothing, but I guess to everybody else, it kind of feels like a hiatus. But to us, it feels like it never ends because we are always, always, always on the grind. You guys just don't get to see all that. But Rich and I are going to tell you a little bit about it.
Yep.
So, Rich, would you like to... Well,
So a little behind the curtain thing right now. If you think Corey and I just talk on this, we don't. We talk almost every day.
We do.
We do.
Sometimes it's, hi, how you doing? Sometimes it's, I wish you'd quit calling me. Sometimes it's, usually
Just
it's
not
Rich
answering.
quit calling him.
Quick updates on stuff, quick house cleaning, because we got a lot going on. We got Steve McDonald of Clan McDonald Comics here. He's going to talk about his new Captain America variant. And, the guy who drew the Captain America variant, Joe Jusko, that's pretty awesome. Now, quick house clean notes on previous signings that you guys have been asking about. Spoke with Kelly Jones yesterday. He's about halfway done with his commission sketches that he did with us, so we're excited to see those. Joe Hill books are out. Those are getting signed by him, so those will be getting taken care of very soon as well. Rick Leonardi, I know you guys have been patient with those, so those are going to get done soon as well. So everything's getting done, but, the mail service, the way things have been going, artists having deadlines and stuff, it gets to be a little bit of a grind and coordinating and stuff like that. But on the plus side, shows are coming back. And that's something I definitely want to talk about with you and Steve.
It's going to be a blast. Before we get to say hi to Robert and Cameron and Carol, I had to take my glasses off because I got the no glare coating and it doesn't work. I think it only works from the inside, not the outside.
Possibly. Also, last thing I want to show real quick. Check what Artgerm Collectibles sent me. Look at that. Look at that coin. That's a coin. Right? If it was the 90s and these were Pogs, this was a slammer.
Dude, these things are huge.
They're awesome. Hurt someone.
It was fun to design, though. It's something that it was a blast. It really was. It was actually it was a chore at first because I had to learn a lot of things. As one does when they do something they've never done before. But it came out awesome. We took the image from Stanley's Pepper project and used it on the back. Pepper is his original character, which is also being used a lot right now by Marvelistic Studio. If you guys check it out over there, they have some really cool notebooks that they just came out with. We have those available on the website at Artgerm Collectibles, so you can check those out. Like actual Pepper college ruled notebooks, they're neat.
Yep.
But also, speaking of things that are out by people we know.
Yeah, that's pretty neat.
Yeah. So little update on those as far as some of the signings and everything, guys. The CGC books, those are at CGC. They are scheduled for grading. We are hoping that they will be done by the end of this month. I was speaking with the head of CGC Signature Series, Brittany McManus, earlier today, and I believe there's a good shot that they have a chance to be done before MegaCon. And if they are, we will get them and have them out. If not, we will pick them up right after MegaCon. We'll take a nice little detour from Orlando to Sarasota and then back up this way. At least I say we will. We may be just completely destroyed, but we'll make it happen.
I love that everyone in Florida makes it sound like going across the state is like a 5-minute drive. Yeah, we'll go from Orlando to Sarasota real quick. No big deal.
Well, I mean, compared to how long it would take you to go there, I mean, it's no big deal. You can drive from Orlando to Tampa in a day, and it's clear across the state. Of course, we're a very narrow, straight state. So,
yeah. Well, with that, let's bring in somebody who is not CGC affiliated, but one of the coolest people in the industry.
But Florida related.
Yes.
Florida related. I miss it. I want to move back. I cannot wait to move back.
Oh, yeah?
It's a wonderful place.
Oh, God, I miss it so much. I moved here 30 years ago, and Chicago still does not feel like home, believe it or not. I've been here for 30 years.
You've been in Chicago for 30 years?
Yeah, I have. Wow. I moved here from Fort Lauderdale in '89.
Now, Greg, do you have the promo photo on there that we used? I want to talk about this before we go any further. The promo photo that I
was blown away by those. Those were hilarious, man.
Okay, if you can get it, bring this up. I want to get first. I was going to put Steve as Jason Momoa, because he resembles a. Okay, I'm full of shit. It was kind of a thing where we just wanted to put Steve up there. It was kind of hard to find
there it is.
Decent headshot since he got the new glasses. So I wanted to show what an accurate portrayal. So I went 30 years back.
There you go.
I got an accurate portrayal. And that is some luscious hair, sir.
It was. It's thinned out a little bit over the years, but yeah, it's
the way that mane glistens in the sun, just amazing.
Do you still have glasses like that, though?
No, I don't have those sunglasses anymore.
You don't have the Bret Hart glasses?
Those are long gone. Yep.
Oh, I'm gonna find those sunglasses and bring them to you at Terrifica.
Yeah, and I got to apologize for the glare on mine too, guys. I have no choice but to wear glasses now. I can't wear contacts for a while. I'm still going through some eye issues myself, so I had to go online to buy a pair of glasses, like overnight shipping to me, because I haven't worn glasses in years. And when I had to take the contacts out for my eye problems recently, so I got a nice pair of tortoise Ray-Ban overnight glasses. So, and I did not pay extra for the no glare. So
smart.
It doesn't really work. I'm going to show you.
No, it doesn't. Nope. Not at all. And of course, I've got an overhead light right above me too. So
I've got one just like it's this far from my face.
But thanks for having me on today, guys. And I'm seeing all kinds of awesome Clan McDonald Comics members in here right now. Dana posted the link up again for us, so thank you guys for joining us and watching me be goofy.
Yeah, because you have a variant out. You're first.
I sure do. Variant. Does Greg have that up for an image? Or
he's got it.
Oh, he sure does.
And I've got. You guys ever watch like MSNBC or CNN? You know how anybody that's being interviewed that has written a book before, they always have that plug in back behind them.
Yep.
I'm sure I put my plug right behind me today for this interview.
Look at that cover.
Plug in front of your face.
There it is.
Oh, is that a second version of the cover?
What's that?
Is that a second version of the cover, Steven?
That is the second version. We did a trade dress version, went old school on the title, and I'll talk about that for a second. I have to actually first and foremost thank Rich, because Rich is the one that kind of brought this to the table. He brought it up in our chat room, and I think you guys can attest to it. When Rich was approached by Joe on this cover, I think it lasted in the chat room maybe 10 seconds before I jumped on it and scooped it up almost immediately. I've been a fanboy of Joe's for many, many years, so I had sight unseen. I jumped on it immediately. So thank you again. Thank you again for that.
No, please. It was great because Joe reached out to me and he said, "Hey, I did this Captain America image after Buscema. Do you think anybody'd be interested in this?" I'm like, "Oh, I know people." And I put it in the chat with us because, Clan McDonald is one of the facilitators, our CBCS facilitator for Comic Con Line. So we're all in a nice family-friendly group chat. We're all family at this point. I think Dino wrote, "Hold on," and Steve just wrote, "Mine."
He pulled a Rich and said, "Claim."
Yes, he claimed it immediately.
I did.
Yeah, when I messaged Joe back about, I think about an hour after he showed it to me, he's just like, "Oh my God, really?" And I was like, "Oh yeah." And it's great because it's a classic Captain America image.
Yeah.
It's right in that corner box variant style that Joe has really claimed for himself.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you got the books right there. Let's see them.
I've got the books right here. I mean, I've got mine. Mine. I've got my Virgin copy also to show. But most importantly, I went ahead and purchased a truckload of Joe's books for our signing that we're doing with them. And you can see all of these. It's his trademark style. I mean, yeah. I love it.
Tell me you got people in there.
You got
Guardians, you got Cap,
Spider-Man.
Yep.
What else did I have? Another Spider-Man.
Venom. Love that book.
Iron Man. Love that one. Love that one. And then last but not least, I think I had only got one copy of Doctor Strange.
Ooh.
But yeah, I mean, that's his it's his little trademark style. I call it antiqued. You know, if you look at the on the sides of it, it's got that antique look.
Yeah.
Pull it out of the bag here. It's a little bit easier to see. It's got the antique distressing all over it, and that's just
great.
That's his thing, man. I love it.
Yeah, you gotta love that.
My trade dress, nice big old logo right there on the back. This happens to be my very first inclusive Clan McDonald Comics exclusive, meaning I did not share this with anybody. I've done a few of them over the years with my buddy Sean over at Scorpion Comics. We've split runs. I've done 3-part splits before, but this, for it to be my very, very first Marvel comic, was awesome to me. I mean, it was like, like I said, I was just like this fanboy experience for me to have Joe be on my very first cover. So hopefully Joe's listening right now. I don't know.
He might be. He probably is. So we usually leave people waiting in the studio, but I mean, Joe's great. It's nice how everything came together for this book,
right?
Especially being a fan of Joe. It's your first inclusive Clan McDonald variant is also a Marvel book, which not a lot of people can say when they do their first variant. They usually go for their indies and all that other stuff.
Well, yeah. Let me stop you. I might have misspoke. It is my first Marvel. I've done.
There you go.
I've done tons of Dynamite. I've done some DCs.
Right.
This is my first Marvel ever.
Right.
And it's great now because now I'm on the radar. Now I'm getting the solicitations for future, covers for us to do and everything. So it's awesome. I'm happy.
Yeah. The Marvel machine, as far as doing variants, that's a fun one to dive into.
Right.
I bet who I always think of when I think of a Marvel variant now, Alan Qua, and you should be too.
Yeah.
If you want every single character in the Marvel universe on your book, get Alan.
Alan, yeah.
The thing I love about Marvel is, with DC, they're very selective. You get like 3, 4. That's what they offer you a month. You can pick between those, and you got to fight with all the other retailers. The thing with Marvel, if you've got the money, we've got the book.
Right.
It doesn't matter. Nothing is off limits except for products that they've licensed from other people, like the Ultraman and stuff like that. So, I mean,
hey, Mr. Murat in the house. What's up, Murat?
What's up, Murat?
It's Murat.
Yeah, and you teased a little homage already of your variant, haven't you?
Yes. And I did come prepared with that. Let me pull that one up for you guys. I am definitely prepared with that one. So give me a second here, and I'll pull it up and I'll show it to you. This will be the first anybody has been able to see this.
It's an exclusive moment here.
Exclusive moment. We are doing an all-out poo. Let me see if I can get it in nice and close. Awesome. Murat Michaels homage. This is the first.
Dude, he is. I love Murat. He is the king of homage covers, and I love it because he doesn't take people's work and just trace over it. He will take whatever you have and he will turn it into Winnie the Pooh. And it takes a special kind of guy to be able to make something like that look cool.
Yeah, and he nailed Joe's style. Like it looks like Joe did this
look at the edges. We're doing 3 versions. We're doing 2 versions of this. So yeah, I'm just like I'm blown away with this. Murat kills it for us on everything we do for him.
So what's the on sale date of that book?
This is going to get listed tomorrow for sale. So there's his variant of it that has the you can see the edges that are distressed. Yep. And he's got the after Joe, after Basima on there. So he crushed it for us. Murat's my buddy. I had to do it. We had to do it. I hit him up and I says, we got to do this. So he had it done in 3 or 4 days and then sent it off to the colorist.
Oh wow.
And actually I'm not sure. Murat, who did we have color this one, buddy? Type it in and let us know, man. Hey, Spencer back in the house. Lord Stephen McDonald. Yes, it is, Spence. The Godfather of Signatures watching. Yeah, we try to do at least probably about once every 2 months. We'll do a homage cover with Murat and some of his artists. Then like I said, I've done several of the Dynamite covers, a lot of Vampirellas, a lot of other covers with those guys. But this one is my first Marvel, so it's my baby. I went crazy last night. Oh, cool. Dan colored it. Thank you, Murat. So we went live last night and showcased it for everybody. Spent about 20 minutes live last night because I was so proud of them. So we just had fun with it last night.
Oh, yeah.
No kilt today, Albert. No kilt today. Come see me in Terrificon, though.
Yeah.
So,
speaking of Terrificon, real quick.
Yeah.
All right. First of all, congratulations on Captain America book.
Thanks.
Great cover, great book. Looking forward to talking
And
to Joe about
great
that.
sales so far too.
Yeah, and another thing's going on. Shows are coming back now. It's an interesting thing. Not a lot of people have been doing shows yet and stuff like that. But one of the best shows, and is co-run by Spencer, who's might still be in the chat.
Yeah, he's
is Terrificon.
Yep, Mitch Halleck is the owner of it, and Spencer helps with a lot of the talent that comes in for that.
Always a locked, like a stacked show.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's in Connecticut, Mohegan Sun. And if you haven't checked out that show, you definitely should. And Clan McDonald Comics is actually going to be there this time. Yeah,
we're going to be there. I did not. I feel bad right now. I did not introduce my daughters back here, Miss Dana Lynn.
Hello there.
She's the muscle of the company. She's the one that comes after for bill collecting and debts. She's the one that you do not want to piss off. She's going to be there with us. Her boyfriend Aaron, who runs almost all of my electronics, anything that's like eBay related, website help, my shows. Every time we do a show, he's running all my technical stuff because I am not technical.
Anything you're too old to understand?
That's it. That's it. 100% it. I had Frank, my guy that handles all of my pull box and previews world ordering and all of our diamond ordering and everything. Lunar, now Penguin, diamond, everything. He's trying to explain something to me last night. And I just got frustrated. I'm like, I don't want to know. Just stop talking to me. I don't want to know. I can't learn that. I can't figure it out. I don't want to know it. That's why I'm paying you. Just leave me alone on that one. And he's like, but no, you really need to. As the owner, you need to learn this. I'm like, okay, we'll sit down sometime and you can teach me, but not right now. Not at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock on a Tuesday night. What's that?
You can't teach an old dog.
No, you can't teach an old dog new tricks sometimes. But no, so Dana Aaron will be there, and my oldest boy, Colin, who has done a lot of conventions with me in the past. He and I have teamed up for a lot of them in the last few years. He'll be there also. So be all four of us working our booth. That's
fantastic. Now, I don't know if I read this right, but are you doing a live sale during the show?
I am going to be doing multiple live sales during the show. We have a curtain that's going to be behind our booth, and then we will be having guests come in, and we're going to have a studio set up directly behind our booth. We're going to try to have Scott Hanna. We're going to do several. We're going to have several of the artists come over, take a break from their table, come over for a half hour, 45 minutes, bring over some of their wares. If they've got prints, if they've got art that they want to sell, or if they've got some comics with them, we're going to do that and have several live sales throughout the weekend. And I'm going to do my thing. Excuse me. All conventions that I go to, I usually have a few buddy artists that are there where I will physically go to their booth and do live sales right at their booth. And Jamie Tyndall, I'm notorious for sitting there with Jamie Tyndall for 2 hours, going through every one of his print binders, looking over all of his comics, all of his medals. Marat Michaels, he and I will most likely do one from the hotel room or from one of the banquet rooms. He and I always do a live show together. But like I said, we're going to get a few guys lined up, and we'll put a schedule together, so people will know what time we're going to be going live with who during that. But yeah, it's going to be fun. And you're right, man. This show is stacked.
Oh,
it's absolutely stacked between celebrities and artists and writers. It's insane.
Yeah,
I've never been.
Right now, the most stacked show since C2E2 2020. So over a year now, and always a great show. Like I said, everybody should go check that one out. I'm definitely going to come to your booth, Steve. I'm definitely going to be hanging out with you.
Yes, awesome, man. I can't wait. And if you guys are art fans, we are literally right next to Spencer's booth with the Artist Express. And you want to talk, he's got about 40,000 pieces of art that he brings to every single convention. I mean, he loads them all up. They're in bins, and you can flip through all the art you want to. Original art pages from comics, sketches, you name it. He's got it all. So
and it's a very impressive list of artists too. Like Jurgens and Mark Starlin, all those types of guys. All
Starlin,
the big names.
Land.
Yep.
So I want to kind of circle back to what one of the main reasons we're here is the book, your Joe Jusco book. Do you still have copies for sale?
Yeah.
And how do people get those copies? If they're just tuning in and they're not familiar with who you are?
Sure. So we've got, we had to do a 3,000 book minimum run for the cover A, the trade dress version. which I showed you guys. So the trade dress version we had to do 3,000 of. I'm horrible with directions here, and we've still got plenty of those. And then the virgins we had to do a minimum 1,500. So we offered them up as individuals or as the sets. We went unbelievably competitive on our pricing on them because I really wanted to, over the course of the next few months, have a complete sellout of this. So I went super lean as compared to a lot of comic stores variants, especially with a name like Joe Jusco. I mean, I could have charged $25 for a trade dress, and I could have gone higher on the Virgin. We kept it nice and lean, and we're at $25 a set for both the Virgin and the trade dress. And these books aren't discounted at Diamond. I mean, I don't know if anybody knows how Diamond works on regular Diamond orders. They're not. You don't get your normal discount like you would if you were a dealer for variant covers like this. So they're not they're not discounted like that.
Right.
I actually had to pay more, on one of the two covers, the Virgin cover.
Yep.
So all of that's got to be taken into consideration. But anyway, for my pricing, I think we went really lean on it, and we'll do really well. It's on my website. I think you guys are loading it up also.
Yes, we are. Anything that
online.
Steve is offering, we'll be offering as well, but on the CGC side of stuff.
Exactly. We're doing it raw, signed raw, or CBCS graded. If anybody wants some CGC'd, go right to the Comic Con line site and do it there. We'll get all these bad boys signed. There's going to be a big, gigantic box coming to Joe within the next few weeks.
Oh, yeah. Now, another question I have to ask. Is the signing that we're doing here, is it just for this book, or can people send in other books as well?
Nope. We're already set up on my website. You can send in other books. I requested them by the 5th. I'll extend it until next weekend just because I'm backed up, especially getting these things all logged in. So if anybody does have books that they want to send for Joe to sign, or I got to mention the interior artist too, Dale Eaglesham. If you guys have other books from Joe, please feel free to go to my website, check it out, send those books in. But most importantly, I have to mention this: Dale Eaglesham did all the interior art on this. So the badass thing about this particular cover is that you guys can either choose to get single signed by Joe or dual signed by Joe and Dale, and have dual sign CBCS yellow or CGC yellow labels on them. The biggest positive for you guys is that CGC has the cool Captain America little thingies. Don't they have the Captain America logo that you can put on, or is that not one of them that they offer?
I think they have that, or it's an Avengers logo.
Is it an Avengers one? Okay.
Yeah.
So there's that too. And I'm glad I just remembered that, because I would have felt really bad if I had forgotten to mention Dale, because his art, the interior art in this is just absolutely amazing. I don't know if you guys got any of the regular United States Captain of America art, but
let's see a page real quick.
The other covers.
Yeah, that's nice.
His work is just insane. We actually, Spencer and I sell quite a bit of his original art pages.
That's fantastic. Yeah. And this is the only way you can get a double signed book of this right now.
Correct. Yep. That's it. That's the only way. Nobody else has anything set up with the two of them together. Yep. So Dale or Joe, you can send books in, and either Comic Con line or myself can get those dual signed or single signed. And like I said, I've got a bunch of books that are going up for sale live on Saturday. There's about 15 here, and I have about 20 more coming that will be live for sale for people to claim. And they're going to be, I do this occasionally. If I know I'm going to a convention, or I know I'm going to be doing a private signing, I will stock up on a book. And for the first 24 to 48 hours, I will make it, you can buy this book so cheap, $5, $10, but it will be signed. You will have to pay for the signing and or grading to buy this book. And if it doesn't sell out, then I'll open it up to everybody else that says, hey, I need that copy for $5 or $10. But I try to do that for a lot of my signings. We went crazy for Terrificon. I sold like 40 or 50 Donny Cates books the other day, Venoms. Just out the
wazoo. God, Donny Cates shows up and people are getting slammed with books. Unheard of.
Yeah, so I went crazy with the Venoms, and we sold a whole bunch of Venoms live because I knew I was going to see him at Terrificon, JJ, John Jesperson in the house. What's up, buddy?
Love JJ.
There you go. And Spencer just made my freaking day. The original art for this book is eventually going to be for sale with Clan McDonald Comics in some of our live art sales. So the interior art that I just kind of showed off briefly from Dale, we will be having some of those pieces. Like I said, Spencer and I have sold quite a few pieces in the last year of Dale's interior art and sketches and stuff over the years. So that's awesome. I'm super stoked about that.
And people should definitely be looking for that because this is a landmark issue. It is a number one. It is a few first appearances of a few alternate versions of Captain America, and things that will become popular if you believe in the Marvel Disney hype machine and everything like that. Everybody should check this out and buy the book. Support Clan McDonald, Joe. This book, it's fantastic. Congratulations again.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's fantastic. Check him out, Terrificon, for his live sales and all that fun stuff. Always follow Clan McDonald Comics. Steve, thank you for being on.
Thank you.
All right, we'll be back on with Joe soon.
I'm gonna stick around and watch Joe.
Hell yeah.
All right, so we're back, and well, we'll be back in just a moment. Anyways, there he is. So,
Yes.
oh, so is that what we're doing now?
Nope. I was thinking when we were doing the countdown how much I would have enjoyed like an Alfred Hitchcock style opening, and he like walks in from the side. But just a fleeting thought. I'll talk to Greg later about making that. You heard that, Greg.
Even that, or just the whole walking down the stairs thing.
Oh, come on now.
Oh, okay.
We're not cheesy here at Comic Con Line, but we have one of the greatest of all time, in my opinion, coming on right now.
Mine too.
Yeah, honestly. There he is.
Hey guys, how you doing?
What's up, Joe?
All right, this is weird because I'm on my phone. I'm trying to figure out how to look at you guys without looking like I'm looking cross-eyed. All right, here we go.
You do what you got to do.
We're still trying to figure that out too.
There's no wrong way to do this.
Okay.
No.
All right. As long as you can see me. Here we go. And I dressed for the occasion.
You sure did. Damn, why didn't I wear any Captain America stuff? I messed up.
I meant to. I actually bought a bunch of stuff just for fun, and it just dawned on me that I was supposed to wear it like right now.
That's why I'm the creative one here.
There it is. So, as we were saying, and Greg popped you in, Joe, one of the greats of all time, definitely like the godfather of the painted cover as far as comics go. I mean, honestly, like it is always a pleasure to speak to you and see your artwork.
Thanks so much, man. That means a lot.
Yeah. Now, Joe and I have worked on a couple of covers before.
Yes,
right? We did a Batman 50 with Catwoman in her wedding dress, which was stellar, and a Wolverine book with him run down that hallway. And I remember talking to Joe about this, and you were in this phase of doing animals and woods, and I'm like, how do you feel about a giant metal hallway right now? And it's
everything in the world to paint. Like interview, and the guy's like, well, what do you like to paint? I'm like, anything but tech. The ruler. I hate painting tech because it's so precise and it's not creative at all. And you gave me this Wolverine cover with nothing but tech all over it, but it was really so much fun to do.
Now, you've been really elbow deep in this project for the past long time now. Edgar Wright Burroughs project.
Yeah.
Now, explain to people who don't know what's been going on. What is the Edgar Wright Burroughs project? Okay.
Well, Edgar Wright Burroughs, to anybody who doesn't know, is the guy who created both Tarzan and John Carter and a whole bunch of other series that they might know about and might not. Pellucidar, At the Earth's Core, Castback, and a ton of standalone novels. He did westerns, he did period pieces, he did detective stories. I mean, he did all kinds of stuff. I've done Tarzan and John Carter stuff in the past for the Edgar Rice Burroughs people, and I approached them, I guess about going back several years now, about the possibility of doing painted covers for every single novel. I said there are guys like who have done the Tarzan books, the guys who have done the John Carter books, but there's never been any one artist who's ever done every single book that Burroughs ever wrote. And it took a while, for them to pull the trigger on it, but we finally agreed to do it, and I'm now painting covers for every single book that he wrote. It amounts to something like 80 or 85 covers altogether. So any one artist has covered every single Edgar Rice Burroughs novel, which
it's an amazing project. Now, let me ask you: is that an artist's dream project or a nightmare right now?
It's been my dream project since I first broke into the business. I saw the Neil Adams and the Boris Vallejo Tarzan covers when I was still in high school. It was when they first came out. And I looked at that stuff and I was like, how do we get to a position in the industry where your work is respected enough where you can get that job? And I've always wanted that job because it's more in line with the stuff I really like to do. I do a ton of superhero stuff, but I really like doing the more reality-based characters and Tarzan and John Carter, animals and wildlife art and stuff is really where my passion is. So this is really a dream project.
Yeah, it is. And the stuff you've been putting out has been wonderful. I mean, if anyone who hasn't seen it, please look up what you've been doing. Like, you're on Instagram on Jusko Art and all that, right?
I post like working updates on the paintings on my Facebook page and on Instagram as I'm working on them and stuff like that. So it's really easy to see the stuff that's coming out.
Oh, it's such a delight whenever I see those posts too, because the art is just so stellar. It's not like anyone else in the business.
Well, what's nice is that, for the first time ever in 40 years, they're kind of giving me as much time as I need to do the best work I possibly can. Instead of having a deadline, well, we need this in 3 days, we need this overnight, where you have to compromise. And I'm actually able to take my time and really think about the paintings. They put as much work into them as I think they need. And I really think I'm doing the best work I've ever done. So I thank the Burroughs people for really giving me the opportunity to really, pull all the stops out on the covers.
Now, are they going to be releasing those as they happen? Or are they going to do it all in one shot? Like, what's like the release plan?
They're doing them in blocks of 4, so that the first 12 are out, and then the next 4 are due out sometime by the end of the year, I think. So that they're slow rollout, so people can afford them because they're fairly expensive volume. Because they're not just the novels with new covers on them, but the back of them has an entire history of that particular novel in it. Everything that's been published and just the history of the books and the research and everything. So they're really, really, really incredible books. But they're doing a slow rollout on them to market all at one time, and it gives me time to work.
All right,
great.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Now, when you're doing them, is it like, all right, I want to do Tarzan today and maybe jump into some John Carter, or is it just like you need to stay in the structure of just the releases of how the books are coming out?
Yeah, no, I'm doing like all the Tarzan books first, and I'm jumping onto John Carter, and then we'll figure out what series will be next. It's easier that way. If I jump back and forth, I'll lose focus on stuff, So I have maybe 5 covers left on the Tarzan books out of 24. That's the biggest series. Is the Tarzan book. The Tarzan series. There were 24 novels, 25 if you count, I think, Tarzan and the Tarzans, which was sort of a later edition. But then it's like John Carter's 11 books, Castback or Pellucidar was like 6 books. So it'll whittle it down with the series becoming a little bit faster. Tarzan is the beast of this entire project.
So I kind of want to ADD for a minute.
Sure.
Of all the things in over my life that I've seen you draw, and of all the backdrops in the world that a man with your talents would have, I was not expecting Sylvester and Tweety. It's not something that I expected. I love the choice, but it took me off guard for a minute.
When did I do Sylvester and Tweety?
It's behind you.
Oh. God. Yeah. How old am I? Oh, it's a room. It's a room divider that we bought for when company stays over, because we have like a fairly open contemporary 70s contemporary house. So when somebody stays over, we divided to cover up one of the windows, and I stuck it behind me for the video, because behind me is the room where I do all my framing and mailing and stuff, and it's an absolute mess. I figured that hides a lot of the mess behind me.
It's a fantastic choice.
I love it.
It is
my favorite cartoons of all time.
Oh yeah, hands down.
Anything Warner Brothers, it's just incredible.
Always a fan. Now, let's get to the reason why we're here, Cat. Now, in the midst of doing your Edgar Wright Burroughs project, you reached out to me with this stunning Captain America piece. Now, were you just doing this saying, I need to change it up, I need to draw some Cap right now, or something like that? How did this cover come about?
I started doing the corner box paintings about, 5 years ago. I talked about doing them for a while because I grew up in the 60s with 60s Marvel comics, and that's the reason I do it today. And the corner boxes always intrigued me. I always found that little corner box to be a fascinating piece of art. And I studied them over the years, and I realized that most of them are like pickup art from inside the books or old covers and stuff like that. Every now and then they did a new one, for the issues, but they were all really just classic pieces of art of clip art. And I always thought they would make great paintings because they're so iconic and everybody recognizes them. It's the first, you remember nothing else about a cover from back then. You remember those corner boxes. So I played with the idea of doing them for a while. And then a friend of mine who was a collector, said, well, listen, if I commission a couple of you, would you do a few of them? So, okay, yeah, sure. Because, you're always working and you try to find stuff to do for yourself, but you don't have the time,
Yeah.
But, say somebody waves $1 in front of you, like, okay, I'll do that. So I did like 5 of them initially for this one guy, and I really enjoyed it. And I felt that I kind of had a feel for translating those drawings into paintings without losing the feel of the original drawing, which I thought was really important. And I got to like doing them, and I posted them on my Facebook page, and people really liked them. And then Cotter and a few other people at Marvel had seen them on my page and contacted me about doing a whole series of them for those covers that they put out. So I did a whole series of them for Marvel, and every now and then, if I need a break from whatever I'm working on, I'll knock out one or two for myself, just to keep the series alive, for as I'm working on it. And so that this is one of the ones where I just kind of just had an urge to do something a little different, for just in between covers, to sort of give myself a rest. It lets me regroup mentally on the Tarzan covers. So I put this one together and I painted this one up. Okay, well now that I have this will probably make a really cool variant cover, And
absolutely.
I contacted you because I figured, you either you could use it or somebody else could.
Yeah, I mean, it's a wonderful piece, and it's an homage to Sal Buscema.
Right.
When you were going into wanting to paint this, was it like, I want to do an homage of Buscema, or were you looking through art, or where the inspiration for doing the cap come from?
Well, I did the Kirby cap, that famous corner box of it.
Holding the shield.
I did that one already, but I wanted to do a cap piece, and I remember I've always remembered that cover from Cap 154 with that great Sal Buscema figure. So I looked at that and went online to see if there are any like really clear, good, high resolution images of it, and I found the licensing piece because they changed his face. Because if you remember, that's not really Captain America. That's the 50s Captain America in the story, and he's scowling and all the Avengers are chasing him. And that really wouldn't have made a great pinup of him like really angry and evil looking. But I found that they had turned it into a merchandise art, and Ramita redrew the face. And I was like, well, this is perfect. I can now do what I need to do with the cover. And then I just kind of had to figure out what to do with the background to make it a little bit interesting. And the perspective with the stars and the stripes popped in my head, and it just kind of all came together.
Yeah, absolutely. And what Steve did, for Steve McDonald, did with the old looking trade dress on it and everything, just really makes it it's one of the best Captain America covers I've seen in a long time.
The minute he showed me the mock-up of the cover, I went right back to Cap 100, because that's Cap 100. You know, the black banner across the top on a box, and I loved that cover. I loved the whole look of that cover, and I fell in love with what he did. I thought it was absolutely perfect. And you're right; it's one of the best looking covers.
Yeah, in such a long time, and it's for a new #1 title, United States Captain America. Very progressive type characteristics going on in the book, but it's nice to have a cover where it's just this nice classic, Captain America. Like, you feel like that should be on the shelf somewhere in the 60s, 70s or something like that. It's just got a great feel overall. So want to congratulate you on that book. I mean, it is a wonderful piece.
And the irony of it was, I wasn't even, because I don't really follow what's going on in comics anymore. It's like if somebody if they hire me to do a cover, then I'll ask them to send me reference or background. But I don't follow stuff as much as I used to. So I wasn't really aware of the book.
Sure.
The fact that I did this cover and it fits so perfectly onto this cover of this one book, it really was meant to be. I was just so psyched about that.
Yeah, I mean, going back to this is a funny little thing. I remember the Wolverine cover we did, and I'm like, all right, yeah, it's Wolverine. It's like classic Wolverine. I'm like, well, his claws are on fire now, and you're like, what?
Yeah, okay.
Now, one thing I do want to get into real quick, and Corey, I'll ask you, Corey. I'm going to ask you a question. What was your first exposure to Joe Jusko art? Do you remember?
Oh man, I mean, it's got to be the Marvel Masterpiece. I mean, it has to be. That's got to be it, because I collected cards as a kid, and I tried my damnedest to get all of them because I was a huge X-Men '92 fan, and so that's what got me into the whole. That cartoon got me into comics, and so I fell down that rabbit hole of, they made cards for these. Oh, they made other cards for these. What the hell is this? And that's when I saw Joe Jusco, and I don't think I ever completed the set. And somewhere along the way, they've either gotten lost or whatever, because, I'm 37 and I moved a lot. But that was the first time that I remember. And I didn't realize, honestly, until later exactly who you were. I just, at that age, I didn't know what, that you could find out who the artist was and anything about it. But, today, I'm like, God, I wish I still had those. You know, they're beautiful pieces of art, all of them, all the way to the corner box variants. You know, of course, my favorite being the Cable for Uncanny Avengers. But you know, they're awesome. Every bit of it. I love the realistic style with the way he uses light. Very, very, very awesome.
I appreciate that. Thank you. It's funny you mentioned that the 92 Marvel Masterpiece cards, because that card set is probably the most popular thing I've done in 40 years. You know, I'd already been in the business for like 14 years when I did that. And I was getting work, and but that card set, you know, and I had no time to work on it. I did like 104 paintings in 90 days.
Wow.
You know, they gave me no time to work on it. So I blew through that set. I was sleeping for days, you know, popping those paintings out. And I forgot what half of them looked like until the set actually was published, because I was just doing them and sending them in. But that one set became so popular that it really just kind of altered the trajectory of my career completely. And to this day, I find more of those cards than anything else I've ever done.
I think what it was for someone my age, you know, what we had to see, we were used to that very cartoony style art, which is amazing. It's what makes comics. But then all of a sudden you have this thing just like, okay, well, here's this, like this. And it's on a whole nother level. It's I'm assuming traditional oils and
those cards were everything. They were magic markers, they were watercolors, they were gouache, they were colored pencils. I could to get those cards done. You know, I work in acrylics exclusively now, but yeah, those cards were they were a media approach just to get them done.
I guess it's just the way your style, I guess, reminds me of an oil painter, I guess, for whatever reason.
Well, yeah. I've found a way to manipulate acrylics where they look like oil. So almost everybody who ever sees my work thinks oil, but then acrylics. I'm too impatient for oils. I can't wait for them to dry and wait to move on to something else. So acrylics just let you keep on working on stuff. You know, it's like I have a hair dryer and a paintbrush in the other, and I just keep on painting until I get exhausted and I stop and I pick it up the next day.
Wow.
I don't know about you, Rich, but I learned something today. Had anybody else told me that Joe Jusco was acrylics and not oils, I would have called you a liar.
Agreed.
Get that yeah.
My first exposure to those 92 cards, though, I remember buying a pack at the comic store, like in 92, 93, and just being like, comics can look like this? You know, I had no idea. And then I remember in the 94, 95, they had like these Death of Superman figures, and there were Joe Jusko cards in those figures. And I was just like, this man is everywhere. Yeah, I need to meet him at some point.
Those cards, they gave me these really tight comps and poses that I had to follow. So the cards are really awkward looking because I couldn't fix them. You know, so they had some guy in production who did these horrible sketches, and they went, here, paint this. And I was like, oh, God. So I see a couple of those cards look okay, but I see those cards and I laugh every time because I realize that, like, what it was like to work on those really, really, really bad underdrawings.
Oh, man. It's all fun, though. When you're at a show, how many people bring you binders of cards to be like, I have the whole thing?
It used to happen a lot more. I mean, I think people realize now you can't do that, you know. And I used to sign them, you know. It's like I would sit there and go, you know. I sit and I was like, what am I doing? Am I doing signing 100? It's like people wouldn't think of bringing you 100 books, but they'll bring you 100 cards because they're small.
Yeah,
you know, you're going to find 100 of them. It's the same. You know, so I finally realized that okay, I got to limit the signatures on the cards and stuff because I'd be sitting all day signing full sets of cards.
It's true. I'll get into another quick story about us real quick. So you were my guest at New York Comic Con in 2018, and this guy came up with 2 full binders of cards. And he's like, Joe, look at this. I was like, no. I was like, Joe, don't look at that. Look at the top page and let go.
Right. Bring out the
Hey, Joe, do you remember doing these? Why, yes, I do.
Now, do you keep up with the? Have you heard about the current trends that trading cards are all the rage again?
Well, I started in 2016. I always wanted to go back and do another Marvel Masterpiece set because I knew I had to really rush that first set, you know. And I you know, 3 months to do 104 paintings is insane. They were little tiny paintings. They were like 6 by 8 inches, you know, and I through them. So I always knew, even though they were really popular, that I could have, that was by far not my best work. And it took a lot of years to finally get to the point where Upper Deck had said, "Hey, let's do another set," and I did a new Marvel Masterpiece set that kind of resurrected the licensing. So I did 135 paintings. It took me about 2.5 years, but it's what the first set I felt should have been. And now every couple of years they have another set coming out. So I kind of started the set in '92 and kind of reinvigorated it in 2016, which
it's a great set. It's also more cards than the original '92 set. It's like 134 cards.
It's like 105 cards. Yeah, that's including all of that. But then there are sketch cards involved now, and they're the price point is a lot different than it was when the '92 card came out. I mean, I was shocked at how they're distributed and how expensive they are now.
Yeah, it's something now, man. Like, especially when you say Marvel Masterpiece and everybody's like, the nostalgia fireworks just start blowing in everyone's head.
Yeah, well, they're a very high-end collectible, collector market now, and they're not sort of mass market. You're not going to find them in Walmart or in the candy store. You know what I mean? So the business has changed, and I guess I understand that because all print is down now. And kids with video games really killed media. So I don't know if anybody want to take the time to experiment with producing a mass market card set again to see how that would work. But I think that right now companies are playing it safe with the high end collectible thing that's working for them. So I get it.
Absolutely. To pivot a bit, now that COVID and all that stuff has been lightening up, shows are coming back. The world is vaguely going back to normal-ish. Have you thought about hitting the road, seeing some shows or anything like that, or as these projects kind of leaving you locked in your own quarantine?
No, I mean, I would love to get back out again. It's been a year since I did a show. I told my wife though I'm going to give it a little bit of time to see exactly what happens with the shows opening up again. You still what's going on, and ironically, Mitch asked. I had to cancel out of Terrificon last year, and Mitch asked me to come back again this year. But I think I'm sitting here to see what happens, as far as that many people in close environment, this is all out from. So, but I'll be back on the road again next year. I really do miss traveling with people.
Yeah, I mean, even for myself, who didn't really care for traveling, like I just want to travel now.
Yeah. I mean, my wife and I use the cons both to get out of the house, and we use little mini vacations for ourselves. And plus, it's like I live in upstate New York, and there's nobody really up here for me to talk to who does what I do.
Right.
Cons are great. I see my friends, we get to talk and chat and and socialize and stuff like that. So I like to for that format, and also because I love meeting the people who buy the work. It's a lot of feedback that you really can't get. When you sit home, talk to your dogs all day long.
Right, and it is. How is Chewy?
He's a tough critic, and it's after now, so to have him on would cost me extra. So
fair. One thing I do want to say is when you do go to shows, it is a great experience. And if anyone ever catches you actually walking into a convention center, I witnessed Steve McNiven come over and be like, "Joe Jusko, I'm such a fan." This and that. So it's like artists are big fans of yours too. So you just made this mark.
Well, I mean, but that was me also. You know what I mean? I do the same thing, and I feel bad that when I was younger, I was kind of shy, and I didn't go up to the guys whose work I really admired. And a lot of them passed away. Point now, especially with the older guys, if they're at a show, to go over and express my admiration for their work. I end up becoming friends with them, which I still find weird because I still kind of see myself as this 12-year-old kid sitting in my bedroom wanting to do this for a living. So the fact that Jose Lopez knows who I am and knows my work and likes my work, a little bit.
Right? You're just like, yes.
Yeah. It's a compliment. It's kind of dumbfounded.
Yeah. Well, I want to congratulate you on the book again, the projects you're working on. I'm glad you're living your dream project. Not a lot of people get to say they did that.
Yeah, I consider myself fortunate. Yeah, and it came along at the right time. If I got it even 5 years ago, I don't know if I would have been ready for it. It's one of those things where the wait was worth it.
Absolutely. Joe, and by the way, Joe, that's Corey. Corey, Joe.
Hey, Corey.
We want to thank you very much for being on. Oh, look who it is.
Hey,
It's
what's up,
Steve.
man?
What's up, Joe?
How you doing?
I'm doing good, sir.
Man, I love the book.
Thank you, man. I'm so proud of it. I asked Greg to toss me back on right towards the end here just so I could say hi. Thank you so very much again for doing this project with Clan McDonald Comics, bud. It's going over huge. Yeah, your wrist is going to get a little bit tired when you get the short boxes to sign all of these and send off to Dale.
I'm sorry I'm not going to see you at Terrificon because I was supposed to go, but like I said, I'm sitting out for a while. But maybe next year.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we'll definitely see each other and meet each other at another convention later. I'm only doing 3 this year myself for the exact same reason as you. I'm kind of going easy.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing is I don't want to take any more time from yours. But
no,
I have to say I have to show you this, guys, this on camera. So when I said to Rich when this cover came up to me and I said that I am a fanboy, I immediately purchased as soon as they were released. I have my set, buddy.
Look at you.
Look
Right
at and here he is, guys. Here he is, right there in the back sleeve.
Ooh.
So these
the
4.
classy pick and everything.
That's right, baby. These 4 are coming with me. The sleeves are coming with me, or shipping to you with the comics to sign. But I am a gigantic Edgar Rice Burroughs fan first and foremost. So to see you involved with all of that, legitimately one of my favorite artists ever. It's been amazing seeing all your work with the Edgar Rice Burroughs Foundation and everything. I love it, and I can't wait to get the John Carter ones because that's probably my daughter's here. Come on behind me. My daughter's here. She will attest to it. I have got John Carter stuff and Tarzan stuff up all over my shop. So it's an honor to have you working with me on this project. So thank you again very much.
I mean, since we're showing off kids,
Oh yeah, there you go.
Guys.
they've been hanging out on my feet. So
Oh wait,
mine's
no,
a little bit older than yours.
Yeah, ever since Steve, you and I have been talking about Discover, Steve has been nerding out about it for like the past month. So he's been very excited about it. Yeah. You should go on one of his live sales, Joe, and say hi.
Definitely, you got to. So
I will. I'm so cover, and I as I was saying, I absolutely love what you did with the cover mock-up. It's fantastic.
Thanks. And I took a lot of input from Rich. Rich gave me some really great ideas, and we ran with it, and Marvel approved it, and they rocked and rolled on it. I mean, we had a couple of minor corrections for them to do, and it came out beautiful, man.
In fact, you got your corner box in the corner.
Yes.
The book, which no one's done yet.
Yes.
No one has used the box yet as a corner box, and I couldn't believe it.
Look at that right there.
Answer for that.
This just killed me on this. I loved that.
Yep. I actually have an answer for your corner box thing. Marvel, until Steve's book, would not allow your corner boxes to be used as corner boxes.
Yep.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's wow. That's amazing. That's amazing.
So Steve is the first person to use the corner box in the corner box.
That's pretty awesome. Well, I'm psyched. I really am because I was really happy with that because if you notice the corner box, it's an 80th anniversary box too, which is is the reason I wanted to do the cap box. So it's got the 1941 to 2021. It's got the 80 years and the year the first issue came out. So I mock all those things up myself by analyzing other corner boxes and putting them all together and stuff like that. So I was really proud of that one.
Yeah, it's like I said, and I said this earlier, it is one of the best Captain America covers I've ever seen.
Yep.
So congratulations to you both. We're very honored to have you on the show, Joe. Really.
Yeah, I will definitely come out and see you guys as soon as I start to travel again because it's like I know where you are and I got to come by the store. So we'll figure something out.
Absolutely, we will. Joe, thank you very much for being on. Steve, congratulations to you and Joe on the book. Corey, thanks for coming by too.
I mean, kind of being a wallflower here, in here looking pretty, I guess, or trying to, or.
Yep, there you go. So the signing, you can get the book signed at Clan McDonald. You could get it signed through Comic-Con Line. The interior artist, whose name I'm going to butcher. So Steve, you can say the interior artist's name.
Dale Eaglesham.
Dale Inglesham. So you can get double signed versions of the book.
Yep.
And also, we're accepting other things for Joe to sign as well. I'm sure Corey's got stuff, I got stuff, and Steve's got stuff. So, Joe, yes, you will have a broken wrist by the end of this.
I believe it's Uncanny Avengers number 9.
Uncanny Avengers number 9. He's just saying comic titles.
No, it's the cable issue, man. That's the one I'm sending in.
That's it. He's ready for it. All right.
Cool.
Gentlemen, thank you very much.
Thank you, guys. We appreciate it, too.
Bye-bye, guys.